Hi, I'm Greg Grimshaw. I'm the co-inventor of the Xtreme hauler cart. I've been over 18 years installing countertops from Alaska to Idaho, and pretty much we carried in the tops by hand and got to a point where I got into the granite business and realized that the counters were much heavier and decided that we needed an invention of a cart to help move the countertops in. Pretty much explored all my options and looked around the industry to realize that the carts that were out there weren't meeting the needs of what my shop and my installers had, and we needed something with solid tires so that we can handle the weight and not have to be messing around with going to gas pumps and filling up every time we did an install. And we needed something that was self-supportive so that it wasn't tipping over and dinging floors up and dealing with kickstands. So what we have here is we have the Xtreme hauler cart, and we also came up with the idea of a really wide clamping system. Most of the carts in the industry only have a small clamping system. This is a 26 or all steel construction. These arms clamp together from the weight of the product. As soon as the product hits the pivot arms, it comes together, and the heavier the counter, the better it holds. The countertop will sit on the rubber, and the rubber's there to protect your edges for islands in those areas that have been polished and sanded to where you do not want them to get torn up. The counterbalance system is built into the axle. This is a 2-inch wide by 1.5 inch thick solid steel, and it's bent at a 90-degree angle on both ends. We have the spring system. It's a commercial heavy-duty spring so that the arms are able to bend in and out. We have a 3.5-inch bolt that runs through the axle and the pivot arms, in which this pivots on. I don't know if you've dealt with insurance claims or workman's comp claims, but this cart, priced at $599, is a really good bargain when you consider the price of one of your employees or yourself getting injured and paying for workman's comp claims and rehabilitation and time lost from work. I think that this cart would be awesome in everybody's installation van, and if you have a rack in the back of your truck, you can take the cart and put it upside down on top of the rack, your install racks, and then put a bungee on it and it'll hold. You're going to see a little video here from Mark at Stoneworks from Hubbard, Oregon. I met Mark down at Stone Expo 2007, and Mark has taken an interest in my cart. He now has 2 of them in his personal shop, Stoneworks, and he loves the cart. He uses it all the time on installations, and I think that Mark, being that he's been doing the granite industry for quite some time, would know a quality cart from a non-quality cart. His video will be coming up shortly.
What's happening, my brothers? It's Mark from Stone Advice. I want to show you guys some pretty cool product. I ran into Greg at Stone Expo this summer, and he had this cart that he designed called the Xtreme hauler. It's right here. We got one right away in the beginning, and when we got this, we use a lot in our shop to move remnants outside. You put the slab in, it closes up like this. And this is kind of a prototype cart. It was one of the first ones, and we talked to Greg a lot and said, man, you know, this thing's kind of big. It's kind of wide, it's kind of high, it's hard to get the slabs in, but it works great. We use it all the time. But after we gave him a lot of feedback, he came out with a new cart, and he brought one by our shop today for us to check out. I'm very impressed. It's much more compact. It doesn't have a counterbalance to keep it straight. The axle on the bottom is much thicker and heavier. It's a burlier design. The tires don't have air in them, which is awesome. I mean, we had flat tires with this, and we wound up going to a solid foam. We had them filled with foam, and that solved that problem. Greg's taking care of that. Another cool feature that he's done with this cart, you're able to actually take these pins out, and if you want to go upstairs or going over really rough terrain, you can throw these tires on right here and be able to move across rugged terrain a lot easier with material. If y'all haven't seen one of these carts work, we're going to go out in the shop and actually move some stuff around, take some stuff out to our remnant yard, and roll some material around so you can see how this cart works. It's pretty. So let's go outside and do that. All right, we're out in the shop now and we're making stuff. As you can see, we got the saw jet going, the guys are working, we got all kinds of stuff going on. We're going to use that Abaco lifter right there, and we're going to pick up that slab right there. We're going to put it on that cart right there, and we're going to move that thing outside with one guy. Let's check it out. Go ahead and grab the slab, grab it. should be able to do this by himself. Tony's not a very big guy, but he should be able to move this slab all by his lonesome. Get back in that hole. Check that out. One guy gonna load and move that slab. Now we're gonna go out to the remnant yard and show you how to unload it. Okay, here comes Tony. He's gonna come out of the shop now by himself. Watch how this thing goes up. Come on, Tony. Now check this out. I'm going to have him actually stop, set down the slab, and walk away from it. This is a very versatile cart. Go ahead and stop. Set the slab down. Now you can actually walk away from it. The slab will sit there by itself as long as a big, huge wind doesn't come up. Let's go ahead and go put that thing away. Now to unload it, you're going to need two people, obviously, but let's see how this works. I notice we're going to be going over some really rough terrain here. That's what this cart excels at. Now here's the cool part. We don't actually have to pick the slab all the way up to get it out. Tony's going to pick up one end of the slab, and I'm going to roll the dolly out from under it, and then we'll walk that slab and up against the remnant. As you can see, this cart's easy as pie. Now, I haven't actually personally moved material upstairs with the big tires on it yet, but I can see how that would work, and it probably makes a lot of sense. That's all I got to say about that. That's the Xtreme hauler, and I'm digging it the most. All right, check it out. There's one other thing I want to show you guys, that if you're on installs, this is how I would use this cart. It's pretty cool, and I know this is how my guys are using it. We use it like this. We couldn't do it with the other cart because it was just too big, but this new cart, what we do is when we come into the house, we walk in with the slab and say this is what we're going to crack onto, say this is the island that we're going to load. We'll bring the cart and the material, we'll seesaw it in and get close like this. Then we have blocks. This is a cardboard box to simulate, but we have blocks that are made out of 4x4s, and we set it down on the ground in front of the cart. And then we'll have one guy or two guys on the end with a slab lifter lift up. They pull the cart out, and then we set the slab down on another block, and then simply crack the island on. These work great for installs. The big soft tires are going to keep you from messing up the floor, and a good chance of reducing personal injury. I would recommend getting one of these for your shop. It's a good investment. They're like well worth it. We have some of the little hoopty $200 ones that we bought from the catalogs. This is all we use now. That's all I got to say about that. Have a good one.
There's no other cart like this in the industry. I'm so happy with this cart and the engineering behind it and the strength of it and everything that's able to do, that I have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if for any reason you buy a cart and you just don't find that it works, I will give you a refund on the cost of the cart. So I strongly urge you and recommend that you give us a call or order through PayPal on our website or through the distributors that I've set up throughout the areas that you work, and purchase a cart today. Thank you so much for your time.